everyone, welcome back to the channel. In last week's video I shared my Hobonichi A6 setup and explained all the ways that it just didn't work for me as an everyday carry, and I said I was going to go back to a bullet journal for that, and so I thought it would be a good follow-up video to show you said bullet journal setup. I have gone back to my lecture term. This is the bullet journal that I used last year when I did One Book July and absolutely loved it, so I thought I'm not gonna tamper with what I know works. So this is just I think it's the berry colour version in, again, pocket A6. Once again, soft cover, perfect for kind of throwing in a bag and things like that. I decided to move away from yellow for a while and go for this colour because I knew I would be using this to kind of go with it in terms of kind of carrying my cards and things like that, which I'll kind of go through in a bit. And so I thought the two colours looked really nice together, so yeah, that's why I went for that colour. Kaweco also did at my local stationery store a build your own Kaweco thing with what I think they were calling the berry colour, and I knew that with this new bullet journal it was just meant to be that I needed another Kaweco for my collection, and one that you have technically built yourself is pretty cool, so I have a whole like berry thing going on, so it was just, yeah, it was meant to be. I have kept the decoration quite simple as usual. This is a new sticker in the shop which comes in quite a few different designs, and then you can just customize it with your name. I think this looks really cool. I have like several now because I obviously had to make a few for the pictures for Etsy, so I have a few ready to kind of stick in some other places, but this one was my favorite one in terms of working with the purple / red, whatever you want to call it. And that's it in terms of decoration on the outside. On the inside I have kind of kept with the colour theme and used a few stickers. Again, these are from the shop and this is washi from the shop, and I just love lightly decorating this page. I did it in my last lecture term and just loved how it turned out. So yeah, that's that. I've also kept, so I ordered my lecture term from Cult Pens and they always send you in, I think it's pronounced auto clip, and the one this time was one of the pink ones, and I was like, yeah, that's perfect, that can live in there. So that's what it does. Going into the actual setup, so I used the index on my last lecture term, and well, I say used, I wrote in it, I never really referred to it, so this time around I think I'm just going to leave it blank and use it as a bit of a dashboard page. So just going to keep some sticky notes here. I might keep some kind of page flags and things like that. It's not going to serve as an index. I know me, I know I don't need it for my bullet journal. This is very much I won't have many pages I want to refer back to, and any that I do I will kind of tab up, so yeah, it's not really needed. I then decided to change up how I do my monthlies and future logs and things like that, because one of the things that drew me to the A6 Day 3 away from kind of having just a blank bullet journal, and it's something that I mentioned a few times in my bullet journal videos, is I hate drawing out the months. It's a pain. I don't like doing it. I will inevitably cock something up and it's hassle that I don't want. Last time I did a future log and then a full kind of monthly spread in my bullet journal, and I quite liked the future log, but I just didn't have enough space because I was basically putting 2 months to a page, so I had the same sticker set up and then just kind of used this space for writing any events that were going to happen through the month. But then what I found is that things weren't written in order, because I would kind of write them as they came in and kind of add the dots for, you know, what days was, you know, had something planned, and it didn't work for me. So I decided to kind of try and combine the two, the future log and the monthly, into something really simple and easy to set up, and this is kind of what I got to. So still using the same blank calendar sticker from the shop and still kind of putting a dot in when I've got plans, but then this is all of the days in order, so I can much more easily see what's going on and when. The only thing that I think I need to do, having used this for the first week, is just mark off the weekends, because although I can see the weekends here, sometimes when I'm kind of looking through, I do kind of want just something, maybe a change of colour or like a highlight, just to kind of show which are the weekends, just to help kind of find the days a bit quicker and a bit easier. But so far so good on this. I've done pretty much for the rest of the year apart from December, partly because I ran out of these stickers and I need to go and print some more off because I've got some in stock, but I want to leave them for orders, and it's not a rush to kind of do December. I doubt in the time that I kind of fill this up that I will be starting to make many December plans, because I think I'll probably go through this in a few months, so not a priority. Once again, I have tabbed up with, these are post-it tabs, again sticking with the pink theme. I don't do it often, but when I do, I'm like, yeah, all out, pink, pink, pink. And these are just icon stickers from the shop. I will leave a link to everything in the description box if there's anything you want to check out. But I have just done my future log for the year in exactly the same way. I still hated setting it up, but it was a hell of a lot quicker than the previous kind of way of doing it, where I had both a future log and a monthly view. So hopefully this will kind of tick the box. One of the things about the monthly view, I guess, to talk about in the last bullet journal that I did, that was a full-on kind of 2-page spread, is I was using that bullet journal for everything. It wasn't just my everyday carry, it was my everything planner. So I still have my monthly in my take a note, which is my main planner, that has things like week specific tasks and stuff like that I'll always need. But while this is just an everyday carry, all I really need is dates of things so I can book in appointments when I'm out and about, or, you know, make plans with friends. So this should be more than sufficient. But going forward, I obviously know that I've got kind of the void space here, that if I do need to, you know, if I do decide to go and do One Book July or something, then potentially I can utilize this space to do some of that. It would have to be a bit of trial and error, but hopefully that could, you know, help ease the kind of, I guess, transition if I were to try and use this for everything. But currently it's just an everyday carry, so it just needs to be plans, not tasks. There are obviously tasks in here, but not necessarily sat in the month, because I'm not doing any pre-planning in here. It's just kind of tasks as and when they come up as per the bullet journal, and then just events are pre-planned. Next we go on to kind of the monthly start. So I didn't really know what to put in here, so I just used some washi tape and sticker just so I can see that it's March. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to be doing loads in terms of kind of setting up the month in here. I'm then just using my usual habit tracker notepad. This was one of the things that I absolutely loved about the bullet journal last time, that I could use this pad, stick the page in, and just have one location for all habits in one place. I do have it still in my take a note. Well, it's set up in my take a note, but I'm probably just going to migrate to just using this for all of it, because I do like having all of my habits at a glance. I do need to catch up because we're a couple of days behind, but yeah, love this. Was definitely going to keep this in here, and it's got a post-it tab so I can get back to it quickly. I then have my only 2 collections so far in here, because like I say, this is just going to be a book for when I'm out and about. So 2 things that I knew that I would need when I'm out and about is a shopping list, and this is basically kind of inbox, brain dump, long-term tasks thing. And this is just somewhere to kind of capture things as they kind of pop into my head that I need to remember to do. And yeah, it'll just be kind of referred to potentially kind of when I'm setting up my week in my main planner, or when I'm kind of updating planners and looking at my main kind of inbox, because I do have an inbox in my cousin of kind of long-term tasks and things like that. This will kind of, yeah, just serve as a bit of a brain dump to then go and kind of move into, I guess, a proper planning location, whether that be in my weekly, in my inbox, or even kind of in the pages of here as just part of a daily spread or a weekly spread, however I want to do it. And because it's a page I'll refer back to often, I've just used one of the Kaweco Fusion tabs. I then go on to the kind of, I've not done dailies, I'm calling them weeklies, because it is basically just going to be a running weekly to-do list. I don't need anything kind of day specific, because this will basically get updated every evening. So if there's a task that needs to be done on Wednesday, I will write it in on Tuesday evening, so I'll know to do it on the Wednesday because it will literally be on here. So we'll see how this goes. This is different to how I did it last time. I did set up dailies, whereas again I was using it for everything, so it did kind of feel necessary, whereas this is just having an eye on what tasks I need to do when I'm out and about, because that's another thing. This isn't all my tasks for the week. All my tasks for the week, there's a hell of a lot more. Kind of to give you an idea, I fill a whole cousin full of my week. This is literally just tasks that I need to remember or are relevant when I'm out. I will also use this to write in any events that I book in to then go and migrate into both the future log in here and then kind of my main planner. And that will have a kind of circular event signifier. I'll also use this for kind of any notes that, you know, so this one, my Dermatica treatment shipped, so I just added a note in there so that I knew that it had shipped, and then when I got home I added it to my waiting on list, which is in my main planner. Hopefully that's making sense, but it is basically just a long running weekly log of everything that I need to do when I'm out of the house, anything that crops up again while I'm out of the house, and anything that then needs to be migrated into my main planner when I'm back at home. First week, and like I say, so far so good. As you can see, didn't write loads, but it was definitely a lot more than what I did kind of in my A6 or even my Passport TN. This just feels a lot more accessible for me to quickly get out of my bag when I'm at work, flick to the right page, quickly write down something that's occurred to me that I need to do when I'm at home, or, you know, something that, so one thing that I did write while I was at work, because I was writing something in and then realised that the pen that I'm using, which is the Pilot G2, is quite wet and I didn't have any blotting paper, so I made a note to do blotting paper or to add some blotting paper in when I got home, and did that, and it worked a treat. And that's it for setup. I just have some stickers, so this range of stickers is from the shop. It's what I've used for the monthly, so this is in the same range, and then I've just got that to signify each week, just to add a little bit of something. And again, it's not quite pinky, but it's quite kind of keeps with the tones, I guess. But that's it. Very nice and simple. Didn't want anything too ridiculous. It was just something that would be easy to keep up to date, small, easy to fling in my bag. So then we get on to this pouch, which I mentioned I had reset up to go with this, because one of the things you may have noticed with the setup is there are no cards or vouchers or anything like that currently in there, which is one of the things that when I set up my last one is I had this as a purse and a planner. Because I remembered I had this, I've decided to kind of use these two together as my planning purse combo. So the purse element is now in here, so this actually keeps my driving license and bank card, and so I have them kind of quickly to hand. I will then, if I need to, use this for any vouchers, but it's not something that I end up carrying that often really, so it won't be used much, but I do have a big pocket if needed. And then in here, this is kind of a combo of planning supplies. So this is the G2 that I mentioned I'm using, a couple of extra pens, a mini ruler and some post-it notes and things. And then I have kind of a few kind of makeup-y items, hand cream, bare contact lenses, things like that. This is quite a nice kind of combo. They don't take up a huge amount of space, like the total space is probably the same as my Passport TN, but actually I'm carrying a lot more, because before I had my Passport TN and then I had a separate bag with most of the things like the lipstick and the contact lenses and, you know, general bits and pieces that I need to take when I'm out and about. I do prefer this as well, although not having the pen with the planner is kind of annoying if I need to quickly write something. What I do find is that the Lectern pen loop annoys the hell out of me and just isn't convenient for most pens really, and it's taken me a bit of a while to really come to that realization. I just kept trying to make it work for me and it doesn't, because most pens don't fit in the actual loop, so then you have to kind of fix them by this, and then it swings about in the bag and gets in the way, and it's just, you know what, just put it in a separate pouch, it's fine, it's not a problem. See, and it's not a huge amount of space between the two. They fit in basically pretty much all of my bags, so size isn't a problem at all. And then, as I mentioned, Kaweco were doing the Make Your Own Kaweco event at a local stationery shop, so based on the colour I was like, yep, have to add this into the mix, so I will probably move to using this rather than the G2, but it's handy still to have that. In terms of the actual making it yourself, you don't really. The two bits that you basically do is you put the bit on the top here, which I think one person in front of me kind of put it on a bit wonky, so I think it is possible to kind of not make it perfect, which did concern me because I am a bit of a perfectionist, but thankfully it looks pretty good. And then the other bit is you put in the nib, and it's basically just this like cool machine. I'll see if I can add in a picture so you can kind of get an idea of what kind of you end up playing with. It's not like a big machine, it's just a cool little kind of press thing. But yeah, you put your nib in and then that's it. And I bought a converter while I was there to go with it because I'm not a big fan of the ink cartridges, and I wanted to use my beautiful Sailor ink, which is like my new favourite grey. And so yeah, now I have a matching pen as well. And that was my updated bullet journal and EDC carry situation. Everything I've mentioned I'll try and drop a link for. The only thing might not be this, because I do think it's a discontinued colour. It does feel slightly different from my yellow, so I think it might have been an old one that Cult Pens had in stock, and they didn't have a replacement when I asked, because this one came a little bit damaged. But everything else I will drop a link. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.